Hey, what's up guys, it's Gypsy, and today we are back with my week 6 game for DPL, and this time we are facing off against Jolt. So it's the young goaters versus the true Mahomies, and yeah, these guys are I think number 2 in the rankings at this point, just behind us. They've had a really solid season and definitely looking like playoff opponents for us in the DPL. So yeah, we're faced off against Jolt. I'm probably their best player in my opinion, or certainly one of their best players without a doubt. He's a guy who I've known for quite a while now. Everyone knows who Jolt is. He runs all the big token minorities draft tournaments. Really good player, and he's very comfortable in the ORAS tier, which is where he's been playing a lot in DPL. I don't think he's actually played a Sun and Moon game. I could be wrong about that, but I think predominantly he has played ORAS, and this is a team that really suits his style. This is very like very kind of ORAS build for Jolt. It features a Mega Venusaur and a Gastrodon that he didn't bring, but it's got stuff like Clef, which he loves. He and I both share a love for Clef. He's got Rachi, and he's got Talon, which Talon in Gen 6 is just a nightmare. But I have a Talon myself, and you guys see I rocked up with the Sableye balance. This is a really fun team that I haven't got to use yet in the tournament so far. But Vez, predominantly, Vez has been, he's been using this team, and he's pretty much won every game with it, I think. He beat Hiker, he beat AM22 with it, I think, in week 7. So yeah, he's had a lot of success with it. I'm pretty keen to use it myself. And yeah, it should be a fun one. As you can see, he's opted not to bring Venusaur and Gastrodon, which means my Talon isn't going to be walled by Gastro. Well, it's not going to be checked easily by Gastro, and he doesn't have a Venusaur to take to like set up on my Ferrothorn, which it could be like an SD variant, and he's got one less thing to take hits from my Mega Sableye. So his Clef is obviously going to be a pretty big roadblock for my team, but I am a Carmine Sableye, dual Spikes, dual Hazards Ferro. I'm a SD Roost dual Stab Talon, just kind of goes in versus his team. Then I am a Trick Scarf Laddie. I'm a Nasty Plot 3 attacks Mew, and I'm a pretty nice lax set here. So I'm a like really defensive, like mixed defensive, Rest Talk, Whirlwind, Body Slam, lax. So really like power spam to support Nasty Plot Mew and Carmine Sableye in this matchup, as well as giving Talon more turns to set up an SD. So that is going to be the team. We're going to jump into the match and see how it goes. So I'm going to lead off with my Mew, as he leads off with Rachi. Mew kind of matches up favorably versus a Clef if you wanted to lead like a lead Rocks Clef, intending to get Rocks up versus my lead Sableye. But he leads up Rachi, which gives me an opportunity to go into my Ferro and get my own Rocks up, which are going to be really nice, as he actually fires off the Doom Desire, which is interesting. So I guess Doom Desire, it's not a move you see often, but it's pretty cool. Could catch something like my Laddie coming in, or my Mew or something. But yeah, I'm just going to throw out a T-Wave here and catch his Clef. And parrying this thing is going to be really nice, because if he's not a Carmine Clef of his own, Sableye can actually boost up on it and beat it 1v1 with Carmine Shadow Ball. So getting that power is pretty important. And now I'm just going to go hard out into my lax, scouting for the fire move, but he does just fire from Moonblast, so nice play on Jolt's part, expecting me to scout for the fire coverage there, as he is going to go into his Rachi, and I am just going to click Whirlwind. I want to start phasing his team round, and I do actually pull a Talon, which is really nice on my part. He's going to go for Wisp, and he's going to miss here, as I fire off the Body Slam. That Wisp miss really sucks, especially if he's Roost, because burning my lax obviously means, like, he doesn't know that I'm rest at this point. I am rest, so like it wouldn't really matter if you burn me there, but he doesn't know that yet. So he's gonna miss the Wisp. I'm just gonna click Sleep Talk this turn, as he does get the Wisp off, and this turn I believe I do just go for the Whirlwind. If he switched, I potentially get Talon back in, as he does go into his Electrode here. And I switch in, I Whirlwind him into Latios here, and this thing is a threat. Lati is probably the biggest threat to my team, especially now that Clef is paralyzed and Talon is like considerably nerfed. Talon is dead upon entry, and he has to defog his own rocks away to bring it back in safely. So at this point in the match, Latios is his biggest threat to my team. Right here, I'm going to switch hard into Ferro. I want to scout for the Trick, because Snorlax is an incredible win con in this game. And I want to kind of determine what Laddie said he is. I am Aqua Ferro, so I don't really fear like him going for Draco into Hidden Power Fire or Psyshock into Hidden Power Fire or anything like that. Even +1 Hidden Power Fire wouldn't kill Pharaoh from this range, and I can potentially fire for T-Wave or click Gyro or Nox. So he's actually going to go for the Specs Draco, and that is big damage off of my SpDef Pharaoh, which does tell me he is Specs, which is good to know. This means that my Lax is going to have an easier time taking it on unless he's Trick, in which case that's going to really hurt my Lax. But Specs is, the breaking power of Specs is disgusting, but it is easier to wear down. It's easier to put in range of Talon because he's probably not going to be Specs Roost. And once Sableye gets a Carmine up, I can take hit from it and 1v1 it. So he's going to go out into his Clefable here, as I do just get up a Spike, and that Spike is going to be really critical for my Lax wearing down his Jirachi, which is a pretty decent switch into it, especially if it is Wish. I can Whirlwind it out on its Wish, and just getting that extra 12% on stuff like Sneasel and his Electrode is going to be really nice for me. So I'm going to go into my Lax as he does get parried there, and this turn I believe I do just rest up, as he is going to go out into his Electrode, and this is really nice for me because now Lax is back healthy. I'm not burnt anymore, so I'm not taking that 12 each turn, and he's going to fire up the taunt as I attempt to go for Sleep Talk. So he is taunt Volt Switch, so he's probably more of a supportive variant. This is more than likely his check to Talon, as he hasn't opted to bring Gastro. He's extremely Talon weak, so I'm assuming now that is definitely a defensive Volt Electrode, and that damage from Volt Switch versus my Lax confirms it. So he's going to go into his Laddie here, and I'm just going to burn another turn of sleep. I'm going to stay in here. Not expecting him to Trick. Trick was incredibly obvious, especially because he knew that he would assume that I know that he's Specs at this point, and sacking off Pharaoh was a fine play there. Going Pharaoh anyway to scout for the Trick would have been a fine play, because it pretty much makes this Laddie useless if he removes his Specs and wastes it on my Pharaoh. I could have also gone into my Mega Sableye there, obviously avoiding the Trick and gaining a ton of momentum that turn. So I did expect him to click Draco. A bit of kind of mind games that I kind of got into his head at that point, but this is really nice for me. I will be able to get the Body Slam off, which is amazing now. Laddie is guaranteed in range of unboosted Brave Bird from my Talon, especially after Rocks, and he's in range of Shadow Ball from Mew. He's in range of everything actually on my team, so that's really useful for me after the next Rock switch in. So this turn I am going to rest up, as he is going to go out into his Talon and sack it off, and Lax is back in it, so we're back nice and healthy. And Lax is looking really difficult for his team to break, so he's going to go into his Sneasel here, and this turn I am going to switch out into my Sableye, scouting for the low kick, and honestly, like, Sableye beats like a band variant 1v1. He probably wasn't clicking Icicle Crash there, he was probably clicking Knock or low kick if anything, but the fact that he is SD means that I still will be able to take a hit, but it's going to do a lot. So I'm going to Mega Evolve and click Power Gem, and I do have that for the Talon. It comfortably 2-KOs SpDef Talon, which is the only way he can really set up versus my Sableye, like a bulk up set can set up versus Foul Play Sableye. So I'm going to go for the Power Gem, and it puts him in range of hazards, which is amazing for me, so I can just sack my Sableye at this point. It's not really doing a ton, because he Specs Laddie, I can't take a hit unless I'm boosted, and he does have a Clef in the back, so this gives me an opportunity to go into my Mew. Jolt knows I'm going to be Vacuum Wave, so he's just going to fire off the Ice Shard, completely fair play in my opinion, as he doesn't lose a lot by doing that. So we take a little bit of chip there, but we are still at a pretty good amount of health where Clef won't be able to 2-KO us with Moonblast factoring in lefties, so that is useful to know. So I'm going to switch back out here into my Ferrothorn, as he does just fire off the Draco, and I think this turn that is going to allow me to go out into my my Snorlax and just click Sleep Talk this turn. So he is going to go back out into his Rachi. He's going to take that nice hazard chip, and the more damage his Rachi takes, the closer it is in range of Talon's Flare Blitz, assuming it is an Aqua Berry variant. And that is kind of, again, what I'm fearing, because his team is so weak to Talon. Like, it's ridiculous how vulnerable his team is to Talon. So I'm thinking he's going to have like defensive Electrode as well as some sort of lure for it in potentially Aqua Jirachi. So I'm going to pull another Sleep Talk this turn. I'm going to Sleep Talk this turn, as he does go for the Draco. No, this turn I don't. That's right. This turn I don't Sleep Talk intentionally, because I don't want to Sleep Talk on his Draco and be left at 42 and allow him to go out and something like Rachi and Iron Head me down. So I am going to opt not to click Sleep Talk, expecting the Draco, and I will be able to rest up this following turn, as he is not able to take me out at -2. So we take that pretty comfortably, and now Lax is going to get back up to a nice amount of health, And now he's in a tough spot because I can just click Sleep Talk here, potentially pull Body Slam and kill Laddie, or Whirlwind him out into something else. We pull rest that turn, but I am going to obviously go for it again, and he is just going to Doom Desire there, as I am going to Body Slam Rachi, putting him now in range after hazards of Flare Blitz, even if he is Okaberry. And now he's parried, which is amazing for Mew as well. So I'm going to Whirlwind out his Clef into his Electrode here, as he is going to Volt and go back out into his Clef. This time I just go for Body Slam, wanting to get Chip. And that Dooms Desire, that's 35, so that's base 100 and... It's like 120 or 130 or something like that. And I think he is like max special attack Rachi as well. So I am going to go for Body Slam. I'm just going to get some damage off in this Clef. It's pretty important for Mew being able to kill it with Psyshock. And it also helps my Talon as well, if he's like max defensive, which he turns out to be. So this exchange is going to go on for quite a while. He is going to actually get Whirlwinded out here into his Rachi, which is really nice for me. And I think I'm going to pull Body Slam here. Yeah, I pulled Body Slam, so now he's in range of hazards, and he's just going to go for the Doom's Desire this turn and get parried here, as I do just go for the Whirlwind. So now Rachi is dead, which is amazing for me. His Electrode is in range of another round of hazards if he does Volt Switch here. Talon is looking incredibly good. Laddie also dies to any hit as well, so Talon kind of wins the game at this point. But this turn I am going to go for the Body Slam here, as he does go for the Taunt. And you're going to see Aftermath damage, Rocky Helmet damage, and then Doom's Desire damage go off. So Lax all of a sudden is at 31. So that he took, like, overall he took like 75% that turn, which is crazy, all in residual damage. That was pretty wild. I didn't actually notice, like, when I was playing that the Doom's Desire went off. I was just clicking through the turns at this point because I knew that Talon and you can wrap this game up. But yeah, watching through the replay and seeing the Doom's Desire go off as well kind of explains why Lax took so much damage there. So he's going to go out into his Laddie here. He's going to finish off my Lax with the Draco. Man, this thing put in a shift this game, as this does give me my Mew, and I can just take him out here with the Vacuum Wave and proceed to Nasty Plot the following turn, as he does just go out into his Clef. So I'm going to Nasty Plot, and I am Psyshock, so even though he does reveal the Calm Mind here, with my special attack investment, I am able to 2-hit go max defensive variant of Clef. He is a Life Orb set, so he won't be getting that Leftovers recovery, which is really nice, as Mew is going to be able to take out the Clef there. Obviously Talon in the back was always going to be able to revenge Clef if it needed to, and I did also have Trick Laddie. So that is going to be a pretty fun game against Jolt. Definitely a good game to him. I think he played it well. But the Lax set really just kind of messed him up, whirlwinding around all his threats. And Talon in the back was always a big threat for him. He had to really keep Electrode healthy, but Electrode getting brought in all those hazards through Whirlwind was really rough for him. So that is going to be the game. This wasn't... I forget if this was a clutch game. I've had to play in a lot of tiebreaks this DPL, so this game happened a while ago. I don't really remember. But I know we had a pretty close series against TTM, and we will be facing them more than likely at some point in playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up playing Jolt again, or another one of their guys. So that is going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was definitely a fun one to play and a fun one to record. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and let me know what you guys thought of the game in the comments.